Don't do it, Marston. I wanted to hear more laughs. Oh god. Someone's feeling queasy. Somebody get a doctor. And oh god, look at them fingers. Sausage fingers. Barely rendered. Oh, he's going. He's going. And he's gone.
This man is dead.
Oh shit. Look at the body. I guess not. Did he choke to death?
Did Marston choke to death? You can call it choking if you like. He died of asphyxiation, right enough.
Poisoned.
Was Marston poisoned? Can't say exactly. Everything points to one of the cyanides. No distinctive smell of
does
prussic acid.
it
Probably potassium cyanide. It acts pretty well instantaneously.
Do you smell almonds? God, good job I didn't take the alcohol.
Was there something in the whiskey? Yes, without a doubt.
Suicide? Murder? Well, I doubt it was suicide. He didn't seem that too cut up about them two. That lovely couple getting ran over. He was more cut up about the fact he had to take his car in for MOT.
Do you think it was suicide? Seems like it.
What do you mean, seems like it? How can you jump to that conclusion? He could still have been murdered.
Could he have been murdered? Not my line of country. I'm a doctor, not a detective.
Well, neither is you saying he's been committed suicide. You plonk. Now, you should say yes. When I was driving down the road, I thought Marston had a car accident, and I saw him talking to a very suspicious character. Called him a damn young fool.
Did you know Marston before he arrived here today? Not I. Personally or...
Liar. Liar. And what do you think the record means?
A disgraceful and heartless practical joke.
There's a man dead behind you.
Time, Doctor.
I wouldn't call it a heartless practical joke. Judge, do you think it was a suicide?
Do you think it was suicide?
You conduct yourself well, Mr. Narracott, if you don't mind my saying so. Mr. Blore has told us that you are not what you appear.
No?
Yet you told him you were not a detective.
No, sir. But I've read many detective novels. I even had one of those junior detective kits when I was a boy. Magnifying glass, fingerprint powder.
I always wanted one of those.
Junior detective kit. Wonderful.
Lovely sarcasm.
An
Ooh,
amateur
surprise.
sleuth, then. You appear to have something of a gift for it.
About the suicide, Judge.
I'm not yet prepared to offer an opinion.
Takes a lot of information. Short little penguin friend. Did you know him, Marston?
Did you know Marston before he arrived here today?
I knew his father, the Duke, and his elder brother. Like so many younger sons of his class, Antony Marston was a bit of a wastrel.
Yes,
as you
quite.
gathered. There were other rumors of late, of his dabbling in politics, but this is not the proper forum for that discussion.
No. Yes, pass. What do you think the record
What do you
means?
think that record means?
May I answer that in a moment after asking a question of my own?
Of course.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Does
sure.
anyone know Mr. Owen's full name?
Aldrich Norman Owen, according to some letters.
U.N. Owen. Or, by a slight stretch of fancy, unknown.
You missed out the K.
I'll now
But
answer
stretch
your
of fest.
question,
It was a
Mr. Narracott.
stretch of fancy,
The
so to
name,
speak.
The recording, the circumstances
Ooh,
under
suspense.
which all but you were lured to this island. I have no doubt in my mind that we have been invited here by a madman.
Right.
Very possibly a dangerous, homicidal lunatic.
So, yeah, with that assumption, I think you've already made up your mind and Marston was murdered, so you should have just said murder, if I'm honest.
Why did you retire, Judge?
I know there was talk about my competence, even my ego running wild, but the truth of it is very simple. My health. A lifetime sentencing my fellow man, and now a higher power has passed judgment on me.
I am grateful for your assistance, Judge Wargrave.
Me too. Now let's see if we can look at that body a bit more. It's out of shot. How can I analyse it and be a proper detective? Ah. Alright, Miss Brent. Do you think he committed suicide?
Do you think Marston committed suicide?
Yes. In my experience, certain types of individuals,
I don't
when
think he
faced
did.
with their sin, will then commit the greater one.
Oh, he could have been insecure, I guess. Though, type of man he was, I think he might have done it in the privacy of his own room.
Did you know Marston before he arrived here today?
No.
Or he might have wanted to do it for shits and giggles and just enjoy the reaction of everyone's faces, but he was choking a little bit too much on that cyanide poisoning to really care, I guess.
What do you think that record means?
There is something very peculiar about it.
Good evening to you.
Which is... alright, okay, Blow. So, the copper, do you think it was suicide or murder?
Do you think Marston committed suicide?
I shouldn't have said Mr. Marston was a suicidal
Exactly.
type of gentleman at all.
That is the thought I reached.
Did you know Marston before he arrived here today?
Do you?
Never clapped eyes on him. And who gave you the authority to question us?
You're under no obligation to answer me.
Except the gameplay plot threads that, and the gaming mechanics that make you answer certain things, a certain piece of information rolls off your tongue whenever I say a certain question like, what do you think the record means?
What do you think that record means?
I don't like it. Not one bit. Very queer, the whole situation.
Good evening, Mr. Bloor.
Well, you two are getting very huggy.
Do you
Suicide?
think Marston committed suicide?
He didn't seem particularly remorseful. Of course, the record might have set him off somehow. A new incident long after the fact.
If
may
that's the
create a
case,
strong feeling of
some of
guilt
you
or
have
fear.
been doing...
Wouldn't you say, Doctor? Possible. Quite possible.
Although, to be honest, Lombard, I thought you would have committed poison and committed suicide. I mean, you did a whole lot worse thing. Sure, Marston killed a couple at blind and spade and splattered them across the pavement, forcing the police to get out, shoveling wheelbarrow and scoot them off the road, but you abandoned 21 people to die. If anyone, I thought you would have grabbed the whiskey and the cyanide and drank yourself to death.
Did you know Marston before he arrived here today?
Heard of him, but we'd never crossed paths or swords.
What do you think that record means?
There is something wrong with this entire weekend, and especially with our host,
Yeah,
Mr. Owen.
I believe we're all coming around to that conclusion.
the judge did
Yes,
say...
But I know something you
Oh.
don't, Judge.
What is that?
I recognize the voice on that recording. And it
Yeah,
was
and you said it
definitely
before,
not
so
Mr.
who it
Owen.
is?
Who was it?
Not so fast, Narracott. Not until I think things through a bit more.
Thanks for your time, Mr.
Well, you're going to be very reliable for information if you can't make your mind up. It's probably Archibald Morris, the guy who contacted him. Probably met him before you got the letter. Followed it up, got your son McGuinness. Probably nothing of special interest. Mind you, he thinks there's something really queer about Mr. Owen. We'll all come round to that conclusion. Well, yeah, the judge just said I think he's a homicidal lunatic. Surely that should influence what you think. Ooh, rub your hands together. Rub your elbows. Ooh, you must be looking forward to chatting to me since I rub my nose in my elbow all the time. Well, sure, let's flirt. Why not?
You seem to be a remarkably perceptive girl, Miss Claythorne.
Why, thank you, Mr. Narracott.
Is there anything you can tell me about our fellow castaways?
Castaways? You make it sound so...
Romantic?
I was going to say dramatic. Let
Well-
me see. No one has confided any secrets to me, I'm afraid. Oh, except one.
What's that?
is...
I really don't know you well enough to answer you.
Perceptive, but at the same time, honourable to keep one's mouth shut.
Do you think
Suicide?
Marston committed suicide?
You'd never think he would kill himself. He was so alive. When he came down that hill in his car, he looked... Oh, I can't explain.
Does make sense. I do understand what she's trying to say. He was so full alive. It's hard to think that man never had a miserable moment.
Did you know Marston before he arrived here today?
No, I'm sure I would have remembered.
Yep.
Steady, Miss Claythorne. The lad had his faults, you know.
Yeah, you don't need to get jiggy with him. Although by the sound of it, you probably did get jiggy with him, and I'm fist tight and very disappointed in you.
What do you think that record means?
It was unfair, what it said. Very unfair.
A good evening to you, Miss Claythorne. Stay safe.
Oh, Narracott really likes Miss Claythorne. Where's Rogers? Must be checking on Mrs. Rogers. Well, I might as well check on her and check that she's alright. And that door is exactly how I thought it was. Look at this. Down here, Narracott. that door, sturdy oak frame on the dining room side. It's a latch door with a handle. You need to flick the latch and then open the door. Push it open, and then the other side, it's a plain oak, sturdy oak door, but it's a swing door, in which you need to push on the metal to open it. Now if you watch him open it, he doesn't push on it, he just pushes on the air and magically it opens. Let's go and check on. Wrong side of the door now, Narracott. Where's Mrs. Rogers? She's gone. And where's Rogers? Is he over here? No, he's not. Alright, there's nothing wrong with Mrs. Rogers. She's perfectly fine. Are they in the bathroom? No, they're not. Ooh. They, little bottle of stuff. Don't even reach for the door handle again. I wonder if on the other side we can hear anything else of the record.
No need to listen to this side again.
Flip
This
it.
could use a closer look.
Hello. Goodbye. Well, chaps, I think we all need to hear this.
On this side.
You'll... Yeah, that's what I wanted to do, mate. Okay? So listen.
I'm pleased to see at least one of you has thought to turn the record over. Any good house party should include party games.
Ooh.
This weekend is no exception. I have devised several little games of the mind to challenge your wits, and I hope you find the rewards for each to be worth the effort. You'll have to discover my little amusements on your own, however. I've scattered them all over this delightful island retreat. I hope that you will find them suitably entertaining.
Well, it sounds like filler. What's this? Oh. Power bulbs. I think. Yeah, vacuum tubes. The old batteries. Well, the precursors to batteries. What if I can take them? I must need them for something else. Okay, General. Let's have a chat with you. The Rogers have disappeared. Mrs. Rogers isn't fake. It's fake and being faint, and Mr. Rogers has disappeared. I wonder what... Well, could be doing anything. Just look at Emily Claythum's makeup. Good grief, just splatter white makeup here and leave a crude cross line here. I mean, it's like she was attempting to do the Joker. But then she's like, oh damn it, I ran out of white paint. I'm sure they don't notice. Oh, suicide?
Do you think it was suicide?
How dare you?
Okay.
My wife died of natural causes, sir. A long illness.
We're talking about
Nothing
Marston, you old fool.
I meant Marston.
Marston? No honor in him that I could see.
No?
Did you know Marston before he arrived here today?
No, I don't think so. Not a military man, I'd wager. Lombard now.
Yes?
He reminds me of someone from my command. But the name wasn't Lombard.
Well... Okay, all memories.
What do you think that record means?
Ugly. After 30 years. Ugly thing to say.
Thank you, General.
Where are you in,
Where have
Rogers?
you been, Rogers?
Exactly.
I went to check on my wife, sir.
No, you didn't.
She is resting comfortably.
Oh, no, she wasn't. She was up
But I'm
and about.
afraid I have some distressing news.
And that would be...
One of the china figures of a sailor boy has been broken off.
Well, that would be you.